Hey, Jake. Jake,
Pyro, how are you?
fine. Are you going to be around late Saturday afternoon? I need a signature, a secretary's signature.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I'll come by late Saturday afternoon.
Sounds great.
Second, let me do this. Yeah.
Um, Looks like Commissioner Wood just joined us. So we have a quorum. We have all three commissioners here. It is 7 p.m. on Wednesday, September 13th, and I'm calling to order the meeting of the ABC and Public Safety Committee. Before we move to the first item on the agenda, I'd like to move that we add the potential additions on our agenda to the agenda. I emailed these out a couple of days after the official 7 days notice to the neighborhood, letting them know that there are potential additions. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to it by Wednesday evening. With 2 days less notice than we would have preferred to have, but I think it's still plenty of notice for the neighborhood. And they are all items that are time sensitive. So I would ask that we please move them to the agenda.
I'll second.
All in
Objection.
favor? Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. All the items are on the agenda. Let's move on to the first item, which is our police report. Can we please promote Lieutenant Jeff Jones?
All right. Can you guys hear and see me?
We can. Welcome.
All right. This
Have you
platform's a
on
little different. I'm used to Teams.
Yeah, we do Zoom for the ANC, but it's great to have you here. Welcome to the ANC. I think this is your first time presenting here, right? Do you want to introduce yourself and let us know
absolutely.
about yourself?
Sure thing. My name is Lieutenant Jeff Jones. I've been at the 3rd District now for about a year. I have been reassigned to PSA 303 since the departure of Lieutenant Steve Miller. He was transferred over to the 5th District. I not only have PSA 303, I also have nightlife responsibilities. In addition to me being new to 303, my captain, Captain LaShawn Lockerman, she is new completely to 3D. So she may or may not be hopping on to try to get affiliated with everyone, but she and I are both assigned to the midnight shift. So if anyone tries to reach out to me via phone call or email, I apologize if I don't respond right away first thing in the morning.
Are you permanent midnights?
I am.
Okay.
Well, it's great to have you in the district. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight as well. And then do you want to do kind of the monthly stats update on where we're at?
Absolutely.
Total crime stats for this month, and then if you compare it the annual, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So I actually want to start off with some good news. There was a homicide closure. There was an arrest made in the shooting death of Arnold Solis. He was shot and killed on July 26th in the 2200 block of Champlain. So there was an arrest with that. This is a little bit outside of 303, but in the 3100 block of 16th Street, I believe this murder made the news. There was an arrest with that one as well. The triple homicide that we had on Ontario, I spoke to the lead detective myself. They are working several active leads. They have several persons identified as persons of interest. So we've pushed that out to our officers. So hopefully we'll get this person identified. I cannot speak on what their involvement is, but they have been working several leads. Let me get down to the numbers. Grand total for PSA 303 year to date Some of our top numbers, robberies, unfortunately, we're at 51 grand total. Of those 51, 11 of them are closed. As I was combing through all the numbers, I found that a majority of these robberies, they are centered around the midnight shift, Friday and Saturday nights, right around Adams Morgan, predominantly in the month of July. So that's where our numbers peaked. Additionally, what's drawing 303's numbers are the thefts. And as you all may know, a lot of the numbers come from the 7-Eleven and the Safeway and the CVS. I've spoken to a few folks. There have been many incidents that have been happening inside and around the CVS. I know Captain Hong, before he shifted sectors, he opened up the lines of communication with CVS. So hopefully I'll be able to get more officers around there and hopefully try to get to the bottom of this. Let me see what else. Also, since I am new to 303, I'm kind of starting with a bang. On September 19th, I am hosting a community walk. It's going to start at the Line Hotel, and that is going to be at 1300 hours. It's not just going to be me. I've invited the Department of Behavioral Health, Department of Human Services, DPW. I'm trying to get us all in. These are all our partners. I am a firm believer that the police by ourselves, we can't solve the problems with just putting handcuffs on people. Like, a lot of people scream community policing, community policing. I am a firm believer in community partnerships. Like, without these other partners who focus on homelessness and, rat abatement and like the homeless camps, the behavioral health problems, I need to bring all of them to the table. So I want to be able to present them to you, have them in front of you so that you can ask these specific questions that me as a law enforcement member might not be able to handle. So that's September 19th. September 21st, I am going to have my community outreach folks. They're going to set up in Unity Park. That's going to start from 1300. We're going to go until about 1700. We're going to set up a table. We're going to have pamphlets, handouts. I'm going to try to get the fire department. Hopefully I'll get a few food trucks out there. The Line Hotel, they are very cooperative. They're working. I love working with them. So please, for those of you who I haven't already met, I would love the opportunity to do so on the 19th or the 21st. And that is all from MPD.
Thank you very much. We normally do like month-to-month stats, not year to date, but
Sure.
Just the monthly and focusing on the violent crime. So if there
Sure, absolutely.
Cool.
So in terms of the violent crime, we are looking at that from this month to last month. We are, hold on, let me get my other paper. Yeah, unfortunately, we are up a total of 68%, and that number was driven by the robberies. There was a carjacking that occurred, I think it was Ontario and Florida, just behind our police station. I'm still awaiting the detective's response to see if we have anything to go off of that. But yeah, overall violent crime is up 68%. And from this time last year, total violent crime, we have a difference of 29 crimes. So hopefully with the weather changing, we'll try to bring that down. But I know personally our detectives have been working around the clock, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of these guys behind bars.
Thank you, Lieutenant. We really appreciate it. I would just point of information for the record, the 2200 Champlain murder that you were talking about, the homicide, was the one that took place at the field at Murray Reed, the single homicide that took place there. So just wanted to let folks know that that's great news that an arrest has been made. And that one, I know there was a lot of concern just because that was in the open, several dozen people there at the field when it took place. So it's really great that you all were able to close that so quickly. Thank you very much. Commissioners, does anyone else have questions? Look like Commissioner Shapiro does.
Hi, I know that we focus a lot on violent crime, but I just actually about 15 minutes ago watched a porch pirate video that is the next step is violent crime, because it's somebody that was a porch pirate that was using a hammer to break into an apartment building. Someone confronts him, it's going to become a violent crime. The thefts at CVS, okay, are they comparable to porch pirates?
So in terms of what the U.S. attorneys would charge, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's what I wanted.
It is theft two. Like, yeah, the difference between a theft two and a theft one is the monetary value of $1,000. That is the threshold between a misdemeanor theft and a felony theft. So let's say you had a TV delivered that was $1,500 and a porch pirate came and took that. So that would be classified as a theft one. Most of the thefts that happen in the CVS, a lot of it is for the laundry detergents and a lot of items like that don't normally
they're easily
reach
sellable.
that $1,000 threshold.
They're
Correct.
easily sellable. All right.
Correct.
And the decision on charging is purely the U.S. attorneys, correct?
Correct. Like, we as law enforcement officers, we can lock up everyone for every single crime we see, and unfortunately, the final decision is up to them based on the case that we present.
All right. Is there an easy way? I know this runs your stats up, but is there an easy way for us to encourage our constituents to report porch pirates?
Absolutely. And report it. Like, if it was me, I'm reporting somebody stealing my packages all day long. It's one thing if they get misdelivered or anything like that, because I know Amazon, they take photographs of it as proof that they delivered it. Like, my thing is, if they feel comfortable enough coming that one time, they're going to come back a second time. That's just how I personally view it. Absolutely help us, because it's one thing to report it, and then if there's no solvability factors, and which means there's no camera, there's no leads, there's no evidence, to be honest, like, there's not much for the detectives to go off of. So I absolutely recommend getting one of these Ring cameras, because the detectives have solved so much with these Ring cameras. But in terms of not reporting it, I advise against that.
Out of curiosity, all right. I mean, this is the $1,000 threshold flipping from misdemeanor to felony. When it's a misdemeanor, is it the DC Attorney General?
Yeah, it's a DC Superior Court. So,
but
all of that goes through there.
The Attorney General, who makes, if it's a misdemeanor amount at this time, $990, who makes that decision? It's still the U.S. Attorney.
So that is
U.S. Attorney.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Like the Office of the Attorney General, they are the ones that handle juveniles, traffic charges. Yes.
Okay. Out of curiosity, I don't know how many people are on this, so you may not want to answer this question. Do you find that Schwab, the past and the current DC Attorney Generals, do you find them more responsive than the U.S. Attorney?
Honestly, I can't speak on that, because I just personally don't know.
Okay.
Could I do a better job myself following up on the closure rates for like the misdemeanors? Sure, absolutely. But I know they're very cooperative on the more pressing, like the homicides and the shootings. But I was just on a conference call with the deputy chief with the U.S. Attorney's Office discussing the difference between papering someone who was caught with an unlawful firearm in public space and the difference of not prosecuting them. And it's just mind-boggling to me, like the amount that the U.S. attorneys need to be able to process and paper a case. So could we as police do better in presenting it? Sure. But I think that's something that over time we'll try to get better at.
All right. Thank you very much, Lieutenant.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Wood, do you have any questions? Okay. Now let's open it up for the general audience. Are there any audience questions for Lieutenant Jones? All right, I'm not seeing any hands raised. So I think we're good from here. Lieutenant Jones, thank you so much.
Wait. Hey, just out of courtesy to you, Lieutenant Jones, since you're on permanent midnights, are these meetings really difficult for you? Are you still asleep?
No, it's fine. Like I will
Okay.
find a way to make sure I'm here. Normally my shift starts at 7 p.m. and I'm off by 4 a.m. So, 7 p.m. is fine. Sometimes you might catch me in the car, so you might not be graced with my beautiful presence. So, That was a joke. But I will definitely be here one way or another.
Thank you very much.
There was
Absolutely, my pleasure.
There was a question in the chat. It was just if you could please repeat the date of the safety walk.
Sure, that is Tuesday. Tuesday, September 19th, and it will begin in front of the Line Hotel in Unity Park.
At what time again?
1300 hours, 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
I've been subscribing to a feed on crime in DC. It's called DC Crime Facts. Quite a reputable feed, and I just wanted to report there's I think we all know that earlier this year there's a pretty significant spike in crime in Washington, D.C. It's been all over the district, not just here in Adams Morgan, but all over the place. But for the first time, actually, month to month since January of this year, we actually saw a decrease in crime in Washington, D.C. over the month of August. I know it didn't feel that way in Adams Morgan because of the triple homicide that we had that was quite awful. But overall, property crime was down 3% in August, which is, a marginal decrease, but it's still a decrease, and that's good news. And violent crime actually fell 24% in August.
Is that year over year or month over month?
That's month over month, not year over year. So it's the first time this year, though, that we've started to see decreased rates in both property and violent crime in the district. So that is some good news for the moment. We hope that trend continues and we continue to see that go down. But I just wanted to make sure that we were getting those stats on the record so folks know that we are starting to see an abatement a little bit, at least this last month, in crime in the district. With that, Commissioner Wood.
I should have raised this earlier. So regarding the changes to our agenda, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the items, the address is located in ANC 1B for the Congressional Club at 2001 New Hampshire is not in our ANC. Is that
It's not.
that has context, or what's going on there?
It was reported to us. I'm not sure exactly why. The attorney that represents this business, this establishment, is the next one up, and is representing two of the establishments. So I figured it didn't hurt to keep it on the agenda since it was the same attorney representing both establishments. So with that, Sean, if you wouldn't mind promoting Manal. She is the attorney who is representing the Congressional Club, and she can tell us who else on here are her clients to pull up.
Hi, good evening, commissioners. I'm Manal Mahmood with Malleus, O'Brien and Sandground. And yes, you're correct. I think it's just because you're so close to the Congressional Club that your ANC also gets notified. So we have two matters before you. The first is Just Add Water, which is going to be trading as Sable, and Manuel Oliveira should be on the call as well. And this is going to be a new restaurant at Adams Morgan. And, I can say the hours of operation, we're requesting Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the seating capacity is 80 with a total load of 100 and a really small outdoor sidewalk cafe of 8. And Manuel is here for any questions.
Thank you. Manuel, would you like to introduce yourself and your restaurant, please? We're happy to get to know you. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for your time and space. My name is Manuel. I'm originally from Uruguay, but I've been living in the area for a while and working in the industry. We're going to open a restaurant with my brother. It's going to be I would say, with South American influences. We're going to have a nice wine program and cocktail program as well. And we're very excited to join the neighborhood. I work close by, mostly recently. I don't know if you guys, I'm not sure it's the same same restaurant that belongs to this ANC, but it's called El Secreto de Rosita. It's a Peruvian restaurant by, it's more like right in front of the fire station on closer to U Street area. But I also work for Fabio Trabocchi Restaurants. He has a couple of restaurants in the area. One of them is Fiola Madre, right by the water, Del Mar, Fiola. I also work for a Barcelona wine bar right on 14th Street. So I've been around for a while.
Well, Manuel, bienvenidos a Adams Morgan y mucho gusto.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. It looks like here we've got that you are seeking business hours Sunday 11 to 11, Monday to Thursday 11 to midnight, Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And that alcohol hours mostly align with that, just closing a little bit earlier on Friday and Saturday night for alcoholic beverage carryout. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about kind of your business model, or are you seeking anything other than just support for this and us to not protest the license?
No.
I wanted to make sure I say hi, and you guys are part of the neighborhood, so I wanted to get to know you, and hopefully you can come by. We plan to open in October. I can tell you a little bit more about the restaurant. It's definitely going to be focused on the food and the drink part of the spectrum, and just good service. We want to make sure we get to know everyone on the neighborhood. We're going to be operating the restaurant, so it's not that we're going to open and we're going to leave. So I'm excited to be a part of the neighborhood and getting to know everyone.
That's great. We're glad to have you. We're always excited when folks come and invest in the neighborhood and make it their home as well as their business. So welcome. We're happy to have you. Commissioner Wood, Commissioner Shapiro, do you have any questions?
Yes, one small one. This is just for the restaurant and hours, no entertainment endorsement, correct?
Yeah, no live entertainment or anything. No, it's
or DJ.
It's a restaurant.
DJ.
No,
DJ.
Okay,
no DJ, no.
Make sure of that.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I mean, I think it's pretty simple. Welcome to the neighborhood. Glad to have you. I don't think there's not a lot of gauchos around, so it'll be fun to have.
No.
Bring beef though. We want some churrasco, right?
Yeah. We're gonna have some beef for sure.
He's from Uruguay. He's got to bring beef.
Basically impossible not to, right? But yeah, I mean, I just kind of a comment more than a question. Everything seems to align with all of the neighboring businesses that you're looking to propose for. So good luck. I mean, the only other question, I guess it wouldn't even be related to you, it's just to the other property. I don't know if it makes sense for us to, I guess it doesn't hurt, but the congressional club's not even in our ANC, and I think it's a couple blocks away, so it may not even be something that we have to comment on. But in any case, welcome for any comments and questions, or any comments and just further information is certainly welcome. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
So we do normally do settlement agreements with the restaurants and the bars that are seeking support. We really try to tailor them very specifically to the business. We try not to put any onerous terms in there that might harm business, but we do try to be protective of things like garbage, rats, trash, noise, the sorts of things that neighbors are concerned about. So if you're open to that, we would love to work on that with you over the next month.
We've actually been working with the Kalorama Citizens Association, and they sent us over a draft, and we just had minor details, but we'd be happy to send that and add the ANC as a party and welcome any comments or revisions you'd like to add to that.
So we tend to be less strict than KCA. So if you're working with KCA, I think it's going to work out just fine.
Wonderful. But I will definitely send you a draft of that agreement.
But they're two separate agreements.
You'd like to have two separate settlement agreements?
Absolutely.
No problem at all. We're happy to use the draft that you guys are comfortable with. Or we're happy to use, base a draft off of the Kalorama Citizens Association, whichever is your preference.
Let's base it off the one that they have just to work from there. Just
Wonderful.
less burdensome for you all.
Absolutely.
Great. Manuel, thank you so much. Again, welcome. Manal, would you like to stay on for just a minute to just give us a quick briefing on the Congressional Club license?
Absolutely. And I actually am joined here. Patty should also be on the call. Miss Patricia, if she can be elevated.
Great. And I just realized, though, that I didn't give the community an opportunity to ask any questions for the last one. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Sibu? Or Sibo, excuse me.
Seibo, is that what it?
Sibo.
Sabo.
Seibo, okay. We'll Americanize it.
Okay, great. We can move on. Thank you. It looks like she declined to be promoted.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and just give us a quick overview.
Absolutely. And this is the Congressional Club. It's, been in existence for years at its location. They it's members only, and it's a seating capacity of 200 and a total occupancy load of 200. And our hours are 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. And they're not planning on serving alcohol regularly. This is mostly for events, which they haven't really hosted post-COVID yet. But before COVID, that was their model. And so they're hoping that it will return to that.
Sorry, I was muted. Great. And this isn't even within 4 blocks of our ANC anymore because the district shifted.
Understood.
And so this isn't it. I think in the past we would have been required to be notified because we were literally on the other side of the property.
Exactly.
But it's actually not the case anymore because it's shifted and 16th Street is no longer a border. Down at the southern portion of our ANC. So appreciate the update. Thank you very much. But
thank you all for having me.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, commissioners.
Hold on, Jake. They are within 4 blocks of us, unless I'm mistaken.
I think
They're at
it's 2.
they're basically at 16th and U, right?
Yeah, it's 16th and U.
That's 2 blocks from us.
Okay. It's still
All right.
it's not within the distance that's required for us to or we're even the ANC of record. You literally have to be across the street for us to be an ANC of record.
I find it, I wish they would do a better job of promoting cross-party.
That said, we have plenty of liquor licenses to deal with on our own. So I'm not looking to get involved in U streets. All right, next item. I actually skipped over an item on the agenda just to make sure that I was getting to those ones on time. And because mixed BU does not have representation here this evening, I don't think. Let me just go through the participant list just to make sure.
Can I just do a quick point of order?
Yeah, please.
Well, I guess that would be the right term. I'd like to just move to move to our October meeting for SIBO, support for licenses. That's something we should do right now.
Oh, good call.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry. I second that motion. all in favor, or is anyone opposed? Is the first question. Hearing no opposition, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Wood. I completely missed doing that, so thank you very much.
So we got multiple commissioners. It's all good.
And also a former chair of this committee, so that was a good experience point right there. So we do not have a representative here for mixed BU tonight. We already heard from them, and they already told us what it was that they were seeking, and based our endorsement of our support for them in the past was also recognized that if they did seek an entertainment endorsement, that we would revisit, and given the presentation that we already had from them, it sounded like what they were talking about was doing very intermittent entertainment, having like a DJ once a month, if that, very, very limited kind of entertainment overall. They're mostly focused on being a restaurant, which has some liquor sales. And if they were to do entertainment, it would be very light entertainment that was only indoors, and was, again, very occasional, not very often. So that's on the record from our presentation from them in July. I'm just repeating what we heard from them. And given that, I'd like to open it up for discussion for the commissioners.
Just a brief commentary. So far they seem great. I've talked to them a little bit at Adams Morgan Day. I mean, they're essentially selling health foods, and their application for entertainment endorsement is having the live entertainment completely indoors and stopping 2 hours before they close, or when they're permitted to run until 1 a.m. max. In my mind, it's worth it supporting and sending to our full commission in October.
Thanks for your point, Commissioner Wood. Commissioner Shapiro.
I have an opposing view. I'm going to welcome them, but I'm a little concerned about why they are coming back for an entertainment endorsement. They're not even open. I would prefer to suggest to them that they seek the entertainment endorsement after either 6 months or a year. I would oppose the entertainment endorsement at this time.
Okay, sounds like I'm the tiebreaker on this one. Given that it's very limited entertainment, given that it's
But
only,
it's not. I mean, they can expand it. Once they've got the endorsement, the limitations, the horse is out of the barn, or the whatever it is.
I think if we see that they're using it more than they said that they were going to use it for, then it's something that we could definitely revisit. But given also that they're seeking it for 2 hours before close time, and also that the owner of the building was also here to speak about it, and the only people that would be living in proximity to any noise generated by this would be his tenant. Seems to me that, they're not going to do anything to try to like lose money from his tenancy. And also there really are not many other folks that are living close by right there. So I would support the ANC supporting this entertainment endorsement as asked for. Commissioner Wood, did you put your hand up again?
Yeah, just one more thought. I mean, like we were talking, 1 a.m. is cutting 2 hours early. So even if it is, fitting in line with establishments that already have entertainment endorsements nearby and go later, like presuming that it's not just intermittent, if it's just a regular occurrence, even that circumstance, it's not like we're talking about it's in the middle of dense residential zoning. And also we've heard from a lot of businesses and seen a lot of businesses in the last year or two, especially, where the turnover is particularly high. It's always high in that industry, I get that, but also waiting an arbitrary 6 to 12 months to support something that could potentially be the hook for them getting regular customers is something that, considering all the circumstances and the kind of context that has been laid forth in their application and in the previous presentation, I think that, at least for me, that's something that I ran on a platform of trying to help responsible business owners be able to bring in profit so that they can succeed as long as they're being responsible. So just my thoughts.
No, they filed their application wrong. They didn't even show up tonight. I can understand that. They don't want to pay their lawyer. No, yeah, they had a lawyer. To me, it's a red flag. All right. And I may be totally wrong on this one, but if their goal is, it's a restaurant, then the entertainment endorsement, when you start, is going to change the scope of the nature of it. And your comment about the turnovers is absolutely true, but there may be 3 new restaurants opening on Columbia. And I kind of don't want to, entertainment. I think that we would do better to just let them come back. Yeah, and the 6 months or year is arbitrary, but they'll be open.
I think that we should probably take this to a vote. I would also, so only other point of order on this is that my only other point would be that this is something that we can limit with the settlement agreement. Even if they do get the entertainment endorsement, the settlement agreement that we enter into with them can limit the scope of the entertainment endorsement that they get and that we agree to support. So to me, if we're worried about the fact that they might do more than what they said that they wanted to do with this entertainment endorsement, the place for us to deal with that is in the settlement agreement and the enforcement of that settlement agreement. So that would be my final point on this. With that, I would move that we vote to support this entertainment endorsement. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
The vote is 2-1 to send this to the full ANC for the recommendation from the ABC committee. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda. Oh, sorry. Let me just open that up for any public comment that we have. Do any of the members of the community have any comments about that? Okay, great. Next item on the agenda is the Type 5 Club. They are seeking an application for a modification to add a game of skill endorsement to their retailer's Class C tavern license, ABRA 121974. They are represented by the same law firm that represented Sabo and the Congressional Club, but it was a different lawyer than the one that I was in touch with. And that lawyer did not get back to me about whether or not they would be able to attend this evening. And so I would actually move that we push this to our October ABC and Public Safety Committee meeting. I would note, though, that the protest time is actually already passed. It was September 11th. So if we wanted to protest, that was the time to be able to do it. But we can still try to have a discussion with them in October and submit a late protest at that point if we think that we're opposed to this. We'll note we have endorsed or supported one other game of skill establishment in the neighborhood. That was the entire operation was built around gaming. This, from my understanding, is one machine that would be in the otherwise bar and restaurant, the Type 5, and would not be kind of the focus of the entire establishment. So Do I have a second to shift this to our October meeting?
I'll second it. I do have a question for you, though.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Sorry. Open
They-
discussion.
They have a live entertainment endorsement, right? Do you know?
Type 5 Club. I believe so. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, 'cause
entertainment.
they do comedy there in the
Yep.
basement. All right. I think I have no problem with it. It's not a slot machine, a pinball machine, right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
They're not talking about doing another Grand Central Station. There's no room anyway. But yeah, I have no problem with it. If you want to move it to the October, that's fine by me.
Okay. Commissioner Wood?
I have similar feelings. I mean, I haven't paid, I guess, tons of attention, but from what I've gathered with Grand Central, even, which is a larger operation in terms of the games of Risk, or whatever the term is, they haven't been as disruptive as like the detractors were predicting several years ago. It's been about the same as, from what I can tell. I haven't been a patron of the establishment in a long time, but it doesn't
It's
seem
been a
like it
bust.
has really done it. Yeah.
It's never got people in it. I mean, very, very few.
Thank you for thoughts and comments. There is a note in the chat is that the sportsbook machine is right next to the bar in Type 5, tucked away in the corner. So again, this isn't like the center of the operation. I would entertain a motion to decline my motion that's on the table and just move that we just axe this item and don't even move it to October. So whichever you all would prefer to move forward with there, I defer to you all.
I guess point of order, we don't necessarily have to do anything. We can just let the motion on the floor die, right?
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, just
Okay.
no.
I won't be here in October.
Okay. Then we'll move ahead to the next item on the agenda then. Any comments on this from the community? Okay. Next item up on the agenda, this will be fast. Unfortunately, the next item up is City Lights of China Restaurant is asking for an application for a retailer's Class C restaurant license located for City Lights of China Restaurant located at 2443 18th Street Northwest. Let me just pull up the terms of it really quick. That is seeking hours of operation and alcoholic beverage sales, service, and consumption, Sunday to Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. This seems really cut and dry to me. Unfortunately, the lawyer couldn't make it this evening, and his client is traveling internationally and actually got sick while he was traveling internationally, is not able to show up tonight. So neither of them were able to come. This is, I mean, if y'all have walked by, it's a restaurant that sells some liquor as a part of it, but it's a restaurant. And they're well-known establishment. They've been in several other neighborhoods in DC, and they've moved to our neighborhood now. They get really good reviews. I would like to enter into a settlement agreement with them. I asked them whether or not they're open to it. They did suggest openness to it, with a settlement agreement that deals with trash, noise, all the other settlement terms that we normally try to enter into businesses in the neighborhood. I would be in favor of supporting this restaurant license. It's very cut and dry to me.
The same place, it's on Connecticut Avenue.
Was and is
Was
now.
on very good food. You know, it's a lot of carry out and a lot of delivery. So I wonder, does that, it's not their fault and they can't control it really. But, we're really running into problems with the Uber and Lyft and DoorDash, but I'm in favor of supporting it.
Commissioner Wood,
I move to support the application. Like you said, cut and dry. They seem to be a pretty well-managed place and they're established. So I think this is fine.
sounds good. I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. All right, moving on to the last item on the agenda. We have Romain's Table, the diner, a well-known establishment in our neighborhood. They're seeking an application for a modification to add an entertainment endorsement to their retailer Class C restaurant license for the diner located at 2450 15th Street Northwest. Constantine is the owner of that restaurant and a well-known business leader in our neighborhood, serves on the board of the bid and has for several years. We're grateful to have you here, Constantine. Thanks for all you do for the neighborhood. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about why you're seeking the entertainment endorsement?
Yeah, hi, thanks for having me. First correction, I am no longer on the bid. I served for 16 years and I'm retired from the bid, but very much in big support of it and always in contact with Kristen. So we are hoping to drum up some business at the diner. We haven't been 24/7 since pre-COVID, and we went to 24/3, and we're trying now to get back to our 24 hours. And some of the ideas that our managers had were to have events like bingo and trivia. So we put an application in. Bingo is something that we did many years ago. We used to do State of the Union bingo, and we did not apply for an endorsement. This was probably about 15 years ago. This time around, we want to make sure that we do it right, and so we put in an application. Our application was filed in July, and it was a little bit of an error on it. We wanted to actually do it more than just 1 day a week. We wanted to do it. Have the opportunity to do it 7 days a week. We would not be doing it 7 days a week, but we would like to have the flexibility to do it whatever nights or days would work out best for us. So we put an application in for an endorsement to do bingo and trivia. We currently do trivia at the Coop, and we do it on Thursday nights, and we started doing it at Open City as well. So we were thinking it'd be a great idea to start incorporating it where we can at the diner. So we're asking basically to have the ability to have occasional bingo and or trivia nights or events at the diner anytime, sometime between 10 and 11 p.m., 7 days a week. In all reality, we're probably the diner right now closes earlier on weekdays, except for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we think that these events would typically run till 10 o'clock anyway, but we'd like to have the flexibility in case, we want to do it, run it a little bit longer. I think it's a fairly quiet event. Any noise that would be emanating would be no different from the noise that would emanate from our music system or the crowds that we have at the diner. We would appropriately staff it. There's no need for any additional security. While I hope there would be a great turnout, we're not expecting it to be out the door lines trying to get in to play some bingo or trivia. So we're asking basically, I sent you an email with some more details, just asking that the ANC support our application. And also, if you could add, unfortunately, when we filled it out, we only put bingo. We wanted to add trivia as well as an event. And also I think they made a mistake when they sent you guys the notification, because they had it Saturday through Sunday. It should be Sunday through Saturday. So 7 days. So we're asking that if you can make a resolution that would allow the board could then make an adjustment to the application to allow us to do bingo or trivia 7 days a week. That's kind of it in a nutshell, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks. This is pretty cut and dry to me. It doesn't seem like this is going to be anything that generates a lot of negative externalities for the neighborhood at all. So I open it up to fellow commissioners if they have any questions.
Constantine, this is the endorsement specifically states bingo and trivia, correct?
It just, the application only stated bingo. We're asking that you also add
Well,
trivia.
yeah, but no music. I want to make
No,
clear, no music.
no, we have music at Trist, but the diner, no
Yeah,
music, yeah.
no music. Okay.
If we ever decided to do that, then we go through the process again. And, but I don't, we haven't done it for 23 years and I don't see us being a music venue.
The other thing is, isn't there some way to write it so that when a new game gets invented that works in bars?
I remember when we did this before, we set up in the back, we had bingo and it only happened once every year in February when the State of the Union was happening. I think the last time we did it was during the Bush years. So we haven't done it since. So yeah, no, I mean, there might be other games that might come up, but it would be in the same sort of vein of whatever trivia or bingo would be.
Commissioner Wood, any questions?
I'm basically just going to reiterate. I mean, you finishing at 11 p.m., especially on weekends, like if you wanted to play music, I would even support that. Although I don't think that having a DJ would match the vibes that you've established in your institution. So maybe best just to stick with your current plan, right? But yeah, I'm supportive.
It's worked for 23 years, we're hoping for a few more years.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, I'm supportive. Look forward to getting to vote on this at our full ANC. And I guess that our workaround, we could put in our letter of support, just clarify that there's an error on the application. We're in support of 7 days a week.
Thank you. And also we have a voluntary, I still call it voluntary because back then that's what they were called. We have an agreement with you guys that already addresses noise and all the usual stuff. So I don't know if you want to make an amendment to that or whether it's necessary, but I'm open to whatever recommendations you guys have.
Yeah, let's do an amendment to it, just to make sure that it's in there, because I don't want you all to get held to a standard that is no longer relevant given the endorsement that you have.
Okay.
Peter?
Just a quick question. Are there any other parties on that settlement voluntary agreement? Because we'd have to have them agree to an amendment as well.
Dennis reached out to me last week and I told him that I'd be happy to talk with him. I don't know if I don't think KCA has, we have an agreement with the diner, with a Trist, but I don't think we have an agreement with KCA. I mean,
That keeps it easy.
yeah, I think, I don't like to have multiple voluntary agreements unless we absolutely need them. And I'm sorry, settlement agreements. But if, I don't anticipate that Dennis will. I don't know if he's on the call. If he is, I'd love to talk to him. But I'm waiting to hear back from him. If he wants to add something, I'm willing to work with him.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Well, family-friendly establishment. It's so nice to have you all in the neighborhood. Go there with my kids regularly. They love your pancakes. And having more family entertainment in the neighborhood is really nice as well. Like something we could take the kids to, like bingo or trivia is always great. So it's really welcome. And I am certainly in favor and just can't say enough how much we appreciate the leadership that you showed for our neighborhood, how much hundreds of volunteer hours that you put in to help make this neighborhood what it is, and just how much we appreciate you and all that you've put into making Adams Morgan the wonderful place that it is to live, work, and raise a family today. So thank you so much, Constantine.
I think you guys have the harder job being ANC commissioners. But thank you guys as well. Thank you.
Sometimes. Any comments from members of the audience on this one before we move to a vote?
I would just comment, we have to make a motion before voting, that's all.
Motion then is to support this application. And to note in our support that we support 7 days a week of entertainment, and that entertainment will also include trivia. All in
Second.
favor? Oh, second. Great. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Unanimous vote on that.
Do we need to have any representation at the full ANC meeting?
Sometimes it's good, but I think this is pretty cut and dry, and you should be totally fine with us. Just if you're comfortable with, normally the chair of the committee represents what happened at the committee level to the rest of the ANC. Sometimes it's good to have folks there to answer questions. This seems like a really easy one to me, and I would be extremely surprised if any kind of curveballs came up at the ANC meeting.
I don't know. I haven't been to one in many, many years, but there was a lot of curveballs being thrown years and years ago. But yeah, no, hopefully that it should be fine.
I'll tell you what, I tend to.
If you do need to, just please, I'll send you my email if I didn't already, or or just email me, or I'll send you my cell phone if you feel that I need to get on a call or something. I'll definitely call in.
That sounds great. I tend to whip votes for anything that's coming out of my committee before we actually get to the meeting, so I have a sense of where people are at. If it turns out that it seems like you should be there, I'll let you know. Okay.
And if there's any questions that arise, before then, just please reach out to me, and I'd be happy to answer them.
Will do.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having you here. That was everything on our agenda tonight. It is 7:56 p.m. And I'm calling to a close our ABC and Public Safety Committee